Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Our show today is A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. Our topic today is Unbreakable Bonds, Love, Family, Duty and the Choices We Make. This should be an unbreakable bond conversation with our resident panelist. I'm Caroline HEWARD. I'm absolutely thrilled and honoured to be representing Dr. Jacqueline as your host for USA Global TV and Radio's flagship show, A Woman's Prerogative. I'm a TV presenter on this channel and I'm the resident therapist for USA Global TV and Radio. A very warm welcome to our loyal viewers and our friends at E360 TV, as well as a wonderful hello and welcome to our loyal viewers over on our normal social media channels, which is YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn and X. I'm joined today by a wonderful full-time panelist. She is Reverend LYDIA FOUGERES. She's all the way from Canada. Reverend LYDIA FOUGERES, she's known as the Great Divine Mother. She is a mother, a reverend, and with a master's in metaphysics. She will tell you more about who she is and what she does and how this makes her very special. I am really pleased to join with our wonderful resident and full-time panelist, Reverend LYDIA FOUGERES. Welcome, Reverend LYDIA. Hello.
Thank you for having me.
All the way from Canada.
Yes, absolutely. And today it is chilly, just like it is for you. And
Reverend LYDIA, please do introduce yourself, especially for the people that don't know you or are here for the first time, a little bit about what you do and how you help people.
Okay, the way I help people is that what I do is that I help heal people, especially in matters of the heart. I'm an author. I write books that has to do with metaphysics, with self-help. I actually balance chakras and I listen. I'm a listener. So I do help people, deal with difficult situations in their lives. And whatever people are going through, it can be settled. So, everything can be settled. And that is what pretty much I do. And I help people with their introspection because people have a hard time dealing with their own situation because they do not see from cause to effect. So when we study cause to effect, we understand a little more what is going on because people think that prosperity, for example, is money. Prosperity is absolutely everything. So I make people see the good side of life, actually, without actually comparing them to others. So that is pretty much what I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. And for me, I'm also your resident therapist on USA Global TV and Radio, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm a TV presenter on this channel. I also have my own Talking Heads specialist program once a month, every Thursday at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and that's 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm also known as the Harley Street Stress Expert. I was practicing in Harley Street for 17 years. And what that means is that's the famous street in Europe, in London, based in London, which is the street of all the famous celebrity and good doctors and alternative complementary therapists. I help people bust their stress. I work with root cause therapy and chakra psychology, breaking through the blueprint of what creates the problems in the first place. So you might have had an issue in your childhood that was never addressed, and you work through and have what we call a repeating pattern, a repeating cycle of experiences, whether it be physical, emotional, mental, or behavioral. And I help identify what caused your challenges in the first place, which releases the emotion and moves you into a place of inner peace and gives you an incredible night's sleep. I'm also a speaker and a trainer, and I also do online and in-person lunch and learn sessions for corporates or groups. So that's me. Let's move into our very juicy topic, Reverend Lydia. So our topic, unbreakable bonds, love, family, duty, and the choices we make. I chose this topic because it's my 61st birthday this year. I have a very loyal bond to my family, and I hear others don't have a loyal bond to their family. And I want to explore why it is that some people do and why it is that some people don't. And rather than just use our own personal experiences, to bring a wealth of experiences from our clients, people that we're connected with, people that we know as friends, because we're all different. And I feel that I'd like to bring a depth and a wealth of exploration in our conversation this evening. So for you personally, Reverend Lydia, what does family duty mean to you? And also, is that different to what other people that you have spoken to, what their experiences of family duty?
Yes, well, family duty to me is very important. And I would like to say hello to my daughter, Alex, that is watching, by the way. Family duty is very important because it is a responsibility. Many people actually just let go of their family duty. They just abandon the family duty because sometimes they have to. Sometimes they have to. They have no choice. Sometimes the family is too dysfunctional, so they have to tear away from the family. But usually, you're able to work through it. That is what happens. Most of the people that I work with actually find a way to pull through their family duties because as they say, when there's a will, there's a way. So it is pretty much the way it works. But at some point, it is impossible. And as I tell them, family is not necessarily blood related. So I consider that family is who you choose. So when people talk to me about I get along with my family, I'm fine with that because it's not necessarily a blood related family, because family can be explored in different ways. So that is the way I talk to people, I listen to them, and I first of all, I ask them who is their family and what represents to them the family, because the family is the one that loves you. So that is how it works. you will go to a group that will love you no matter what. So sometimes it is not the group where you were born. Sometimes it's a group where you were adopted. So without being adopted as such. So the thing is that family is created by love, not necessarily blood relationship. So to me, that is family. So when people talk to me about family, I try to understand what they mean by family to start with.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. And as a reverend, you must have lots of people coming to you with family situations, family challenges. So from the perspective of being a reverend and in your position of working with people, what does duty mean to you from that perspective, from your reverency position?
My duty is to be fair. My duty is to be fair and to try to understand every point of view, actually. That is the way I have to be. But before being a reverend, I was a registered nurse and a holistic nurse. So I always had to work with families. So after finishing my career as registered nurse and holistic nurse, I went into many psychological domains. I worked a lot with families of every kind. And the thing is that when you become a reverend, well, you have even more duties when it comes to families because you have to explore the way they work and interact with their family before you actually settle down with them and just you have to study the way they understand the family. You really do have to understand the family, understand how it works. You have to understand if they are in judgment. You have to understand everything about how they are with their family, whoever their family is.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. And I feel that that's a really good perspective, that everybody considers family as different. And I also have external family. I'm very connected with a number of organizations. One of them in particular is a peace organization. And when they reach out to me and I speak to them, and if I ever speak on stage with them, I always consider that they are my family. And I would say that they're probably my spiritual family, the family that I would go to for mentorship, for spiritual advice, and the family that I would reach out to for insights, understandings, and to give of my personal expertise as well as receive. And I also have a family of friends that I'm meeting up with this weekend that I've known ever since the early noughties, I think, probably around 2000. I've known some of them and some of them much before that, so 25 plus years. And I consider those friendships as family friendships as well. And we've done a lot of growing up together. And I'm also very close to my own personal family, my mum and my brothers, and the wider family in terms of aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews. And so I've always been very much a family person, and there is over 200 members of family in my family. And when I got married, I made sure my duty, I felt, was to bring the family together. And I got married in 2000, and I wanted to have a family celebration. That was so important to me. And I felt that it was almost duty bound that I brought my family together, because I felt that it was a family celebration, a family occasion. And at the same time, there is also, from the perspective of duty, being the sister, the daughter, the person that in my family, I'm known as the sensible one or the educated one. And so when I was living with my family before I got married, I was the one that did a lot of the administration kind of things and reading important documents. And my mum was very worried when I first was telling her that I was leaving to get married, because I'd always been the one that did that. And sometimes there are members in families that they do those kinds of things because we all have a role to play. So from the personal perspective of duty, I feel that I had a duty to do those things in my family. And now I don't feel, because I left, got married, that my mum found other people and she comes to me for some things. And it's almost like that duty is not so burdensome now because mum found other ways. And at the same time, I'm always there. But there is sometimes with duty a feeling of burden as well, in terms of being there and being able to be supportive. What are your thoughts about, Reverend Lydia, when duty steps over the boundaries of your own life in terms of your personal happiness? And how do you manage that personally? And from a reverency perspective, do you have any thoughts and guidelines for people that you work with?
Well, I do understand, because being a nurse, usually you are the one that has to do pretty much everything, from bookkeeping to nursing to listening to psychology to whatever. You are the one that holds everything together when you are a nurse in the family. So all their problems become your problems, and you have to, and their friends and everything. So you always have to be there for everyone. That is it, and the thing is that it's something you chose. It's a route that you chose to be there for everyone, because you decided to be there for the public. So their expectation is that you're there for them also as a family member. So everyone that considers that your family, consider that they own you. That is the way it works with a nurse. Believe me, when you're a nurse, you don't belong to yourself. Be sure of that. And as a reverend, the thing is to be unbiased, because if you're biased, actually, you won't be able to make it work. You have to be able to listen. You have to be able to understand, and you have to be able to understand their perspective. You have to understand how they will make things work for them. You do not tell them how to make things work. They have to come up with their own solutions. You can say it has common sense, or sometimes it really has no common sense, but at the same time, you cannot tell them it has no common sense. You have to listen and try to direct them to something that has common sense and helps them in a positive way for this to have a positive outcome. So you actually, go from cause to effect, because sometimes the cause of a family matter that goes really bad actually, causes such disaster that you have to be very in tune with the person that talks to you, so that everything happens for the best.
Thank
So
you,
as
Reverend
a
Lydia.
reverend, you have to do it.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Very insightful. for our viewers and for me too. Well, we are now just about ready to move over to a short commercial break, but do come back, stay with us, because we have more gems of wisdom and guidance to share with you in our wonderful topic tonight, which is unbreakable bonds, love, family, duty, and the choices we make. Let's take a short commercial break. Be with you very soon.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Steve Klein Art at steveklein.art.
My name is Steve Klein, born Manchester, England, 1953. My quest in my lifetime is to create artwork from my soul and the deepness within my wildest dreams and fantasies. In 2012, my heart stopped when I was given too much anesthetic for a minor knee operation, and this near-death experience took me to another multi-dimensional world, an out-of-body experience, and I was given the gift of being blessed by an overwhelming, burning passion to become, for the very first time in my life, an artist with an eternal, passionate desire to bring my art, which I've named multi-dimensional, subliminal, freeform art, to the world, as only 3% recover from what I experienced. And now in my golden years want to release my cosmic, vital energy through my art to allow people to be a part of my cosmic dance.
To learn more, email roccogoodwine@gmail.com. For VIP pricing, mention USA Global TV and Radio.
Hello and welcome back to A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. A warm welcome back to our viewers that have already been with us just before the commercial break, where we will continue our conversation about unbreakable bonds, love, family, duty, and the choices we make. And bringing back our full-time panelist, Reverend LYDIA FOUGERES. Welcome back, LYDIA.
Hello. Nice to be
Hello.
back.
Thank you. And you were sharing some really wonderful choice pieces of wisdom before the break. And I'd like to continue with looking at more wisdom sharing from the space of you being a reverend and how you help your families that come to you. What choices of wisdom do you give them? Now, one of the things I want to explore is the fact that not all families are okay. Some families are in major conflict. Some families are in a situation where they don't speak to each other, or they have difficulties in communicating because they're not in the same location, or they have challenges with old problems that they've had that they've never sorted out in terms of old conflicts. So what are your thoughts to share in terms of when there is a conflict in the family? How would you work with that by bringing the family together and still allowing them to have their own personal roles?
Well, the thing is that sometimes you cannot bring a family together all the time. Sometimes it is better for family members to stay away from one another, because when family members are disrespectful to other family members, and it goes on and on and on, and family members make efforts, really struggle to make efforts to make things work, and then nothing works. And they do that for years and years and years. And they talk to me about it, and they say, I tried everything by the book. I, I, I tried. I asked something. I asked if that person was not blood related to you, would you endure that kind of behavior with you? I do not give the answer. I just ask them, would you go through that kind of repeated behavior if you were with a person that is a stranger to you? Would you do it? Do you think that being disrespected continuously is the right choice? So sometimes people have to make difficult choices because they have to respect themselves. I do understand that family members are important, but at the same time, a person is important also. So sometimes you have to step forward and say, I am withdrawing from that family because they never respect me. So it's a very difficult choice, I admit. But at times, it is a choice to make. It is not the best choice, but sometimes there is no other alternative. That is the way it has to be seen also.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. And I agree with you 100% in terms of that we can't get on with everybody, and we can choose our external friends. And at the same time, we can't choose our family, we're with our family. I personally take the view that I learn a lot from my own responses and reactions. And it's right, if something's not working, that if it's comfortable for you to say this is not working, and if it's not, to not engage in behavior that is not productive. So if somebody is being really antagonistic with you, to not go into that tennis match with them and be antagonistic back, even though it's very easy to press buttons in a family situation because you know each other so well. But in not pressing buttons, in not going in and engaging and going backwards and forwards, it can help you feel better because it starts to distill that aggressive behavior between the two of you. And if you find it difficult to do that, to take some space, to take a walk, to take a break, if you are in the same space, to go to a different room or to do a different activity. But it doesn't help to keep going backwards and forwards. And if the person has a grievance, they're going to air it anyway. But if you engage in going backwards and forwards, then it causes challenges in the family situation. And so my recommendation is to listen to what they have to say, and when they have calmed down, perhaps engage in a conversation. What are your thoughts about what I've just shared, Reverend Lydia, in terms of the engagement and the disengagement, and being respectful of the fact that if they want to blow off steam, that they're going to do it anyway, and to give them the space to do it?
If they blow up steam, you can listen, but you do not have to engage in the steaming process. You just listen. That is all. You do not have to engage in the battle yourself. You can just let them have some steam, let them take their space, listen to them, and agree to disagree. That is the way you can do it. And everyone is happy, and everyone, is very satisfied because there's no conflict going on. You just let them do it. That is pretty much what you can do, actually. You
Thank
do
you,
not
Reverend.
engage.
I totally agree with you, because it doesn't go anywhere, does it, when you're going backwards and forwards? It just is, it just escalates the situation. If that happens, I usually go quiet, let them say whatever they need to say, and take my space, and then speak when it's calmed down, because you can't have a rational conversation in that space. Turning my attention to, our loved ones, especially our family, our parents, when there's illness in the family, and taking care of either a sibling or a parent. What are your thoughts in terms of roles, responsibilities, and how that can affect various siblings, especially if they're living at home or not living at home. Have you any thoughts to share about how that may roll out in terms of roles, responsibilities, and the fairness or unfairness of people living at home versus people that are not living with the parent?
Well, I am all for the fact that people keep their parents with them or take care of a sibling that is to pass or very ill. I am absolutely for the matter, absolutely, because the thing is that when you actually put a person in a home, they are with strangers, they are lost, they are ill. The situation is so uncomfortable for them that actually, it's unlivable, and they die very fast. You have to be realistic that knowing that this situation, they go in depression and they die very fast. Well, if you have families that actually keep their siblings, their members in the house, in the home, they will live longer, happier, and healthier. That is for sure. You can have the outside help from nurses, from doctors, from elsewhere. You have all kinds of organisms that will help. They will help, and they will be very happy to give you a hand to keep your family member. So I do think that the system should be rethought, because many cultures keep their family members at home, and other cultures just pretty much get rid of them. So they're not the plague, they're family members. So I do think that people should try to keep their family members with them for their own support. And not only that, those family members that actually are getting older, they have knowledge. They have lots of knowledge. A grandmother that is living with the grandchildren, she has much knowledge, or the grandfather has much knowledge, and they can pass down the knowledge. If they're in a home, they're going to pass no knowledge to anyone because they're going to be watching TV and eating Jello. So that is the way it works. The duty that children have is to get the most of the knowledge of their parents or their siblings, if it is possible. Only if it is possible. That is the way it works. Because some situations make it impossible. That is the way it works. So, yes, I am for people to stay home, but at the same time, I understand those that actually have to put their family members in a home. I do understand that also.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. It's a very sensitive subject because some families do put, especially if it's parents, in a home and forget about them or just go and visit them every now and again. And so there is challenges in terms of, I would believe, culture and generational culture, expectation on generational culture. Certainly, I'm aware of the Asians. They have all of their generations in the same home, in the same family home, whereas somebody that's been born in England, for instance, doesn't really have that impetus. And I'm also aware that in our UK, we have the Irish family. They're very much into supporting the wider family and looking after the wider family. And if we do take care of our family, especially in times of sickness, in times of ill health, where it's almost an end of care, what are your thoughts about boundaries in terms of allowing, having your own life and allowing your own life to still go on, as well as looking after the family member. And what I'm thinking about here is that I'm aware that there are certain hospices that have respite care that can take the pressure off the family members. What are your thoughts about that? And Reverend Lydia, we are almost out of time. Can you believe it? So if you can make this response a shorter response, and maybe we can come back and do another episode, because I feel that this is a very deep subject. So can you share some very quick thoughts before we close out the show tonight of how you can cope with boundaries and the use of hospices for respite for both the family and the person that is ill?
Well, there is no other solution other than use the respite. That is the solution. So use the respite and keep your family members home. And that is what I actually think is the best way. So that's my response.
Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia. What a really deep and exploring subject that we've covered. And I reckon that we could do this again with much more exploration. Before we go, Reverend Lydia, please do share your contact details and what the best way to reach you is.
Okay, you can reach me at 1-514-582-6882. Also on Instagram at divadivinem _ or on my Facebook at Reverend LYDIA Fougere author. So you can join me on those 3 platforms, and I will answer whatever questions. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. It's always an absolutely riveting conversation. I think we go so deep, it's deep and deeper. Thank you so much for your incredible wisdom and your wonderful shares. For me, you can reach me on email, nomorestress@live.co.uk, or you can call me if you're international, +44 if you're local. So if you're UK, 07523 120 189. Please follow me on my preferred social media platforms, which are LinkedIn and Facebook. Please reach out and message me in any of those places, and I'll be happy to help you bust your stress. Just before we move over to our sponsors and end our show tonight, please do consider joining our VIP exclusive community and become an exclusive VIP community member. You'll have first access to our newest videos, photographs on the British royal family, which are live streamed on YouTube and USA Global TV and Radio. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring this program, this episode to you tonight. Thank you very much if you're here on the live or on the replay, and I look forward to seeing you next week on Monday. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a wonderful exploration tonight, and I look forward to seeing you next week at the same time. Bye-bye for now, and over to our sponsors.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host, and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur, or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming, and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com.
What if one simple skill could change the way you connect with the world? What if listening could open doors to deeper relationships, stronger businesses, and a better you? Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, the Listening Mentor, brings you USA Global TV and Radio, a space where voices are heard, ideas are shared, and global communities thrive. Through the elevated listeners' courses and books, you'll master the power of listening, set boundaries with confidence, and transform conversations into opportunities. Join us. Listen, learn, elevate. Whether you're a leader, a coach, a business owner, or someone seeking stronger connections, your journey starts today. Subscribe, learn, and transform today.
Five little-known secrets for dementia caregivers with Tracy Cram-Perkins.
Hi there, I am Tracy Cram-Perkins, the host of the Dementia Home Care Show here on USA Global TV and Radio. I am also the author of the book of the same name. And you'll see this QR code. This is for an extended version of the same talk. So if you want to see the full hour-long version, feel free to scan the code and go to that website. Stick with me. We'll talk about 5 little-known secrets to make it a little easier to do dementia caregiving. What you're seeing on the left-hand side is a healthy aged brain, age 55 and above. The one you're seeing on the right is an Alzheimer's disease brain. It is in moderate disease. It is shrinking. It has holes in it. The memories that were in those holes no longer exist. When you're learning something, let's say in kindergarten, you learn how to tie your shoelace. Well, then by the time you're in 2nd grade, your brain remembers that information from tying the shoelace and applies it so you can learn more quickly how to tie more complex knots. So the brain is hardwired to do this for us, so it helps us learn faster so it doesn't take us long to acquire knowledge. The brain is looking for the information and they pick the closest to wherever that hole is. Let's look at some tips that we can use to help do that.
These are 5 simple tools you can use as a dementia caregiver to help your loved one. The whiteboard is a useful tool in recording the day's activities and the answers to repetitive questions. The calendar clock is a very useful tool to orient your loved one on the day, the date, and the time, and remind them of upcoming appointments. The communication cards are a great tool to bridge the gap when they can no longer tell you what's wrong. And then there's the pill minder, for when your loved one is still able to take pills but needs prompting. The final tool I want to share with you is the memory book. It tells your loved one's story. It's a great tool for distraction, redirection, also as a conversation starter, and telling you where they are in their story so you know how to answer their questions.
Music is probably the most powerful tool in your toolbox after laughter. Music is a way to maintain connection. It sticks with your brain longer than any other thing, including reading. When you're having an issue with somebody, you can play their favorite music if you move them to another room, something that makes them happy, or you can start singing songs together from their childhood. These are some of my favorite books for caregivers. My show airs on the 3rd Tuesday of every month, and you can view past episodes on YouTube. Thank you, everyone.
This program has been brought to you in part by Tracy Cram-Perkins. Connect with her and order her book at tracycramperkins.com. For more information about Alzheimer's disease, support resources, and how you can help, contact the Alzheimer's Association at 1-800-272-3900 or visit their website at www.alz.org. They offer 24/7 helpline support and a wealth of information to assist you and your loved ones.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/usaglobaltv. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.